Happy Saturday to you, and thank you for joining me today. I'm Dr. Preston Winfrey, and I want to welcome you to my Saturday afternoon inspiration. As always, it's my desire to say something that makes sense. I'm not here trying to make sound, I'm just trying to make some sense out of a lot of things that perhaps don't make sense. Hey, I hope you had a great week, have you? Well, I certainly have. It's been a great week. It's been a good day this far. And I'm happy to announce that this is my birthday month. I was born in the month of June, and 4 days will be my actual birthday, June the 10th. That's the big day. But, you know, I celebrate every day, and each year I make it my business to celebrate my birthday for the entire month, for 1 month. So that's going to be from June 10th until July the 10th. So you always have time to say, hey, happy birthday, congratulations, and all those kind of things that we do to make people feel a little special. And maybe every once in a while I do feel a little special. I may not be special, but doesn't stop me from feeling that way. Listen, I want to make sure that you join us each week here. If this is your first time viewing us, we're here each Saturday at 3 o'clock p.m. Every once in a great while, something happens that may be unforeseeable, and we have to alter that time. But usually I try to be responsible to let you know that I'll be airing a little later. Then on Sunday mornings at 7:30 a.m., that's our time for worship. And I would encourage you right on the same channel. So please subscribe to our channel and like us on Facebook. And don't forget to click on that notification bell, because that will each time let you know when we are broadcasting. And certainly I'd love for you to share this with people in your on your contact list, your friends, your family. And if by some small chance you happen to have some enemies, why not be a blessing to them? Something may be said that could potentially turn them into friends for you, right? We know in life, sometimes some good people or people in our corner sometimes get out of our corner and can turn against you. And then on the opposite end, there are those who've not been in your corner and had no desire to be in your corner. But something happens and they say, you know what, I want to be in your corner. So let's do the best we can with what we have to work with. All righty, well, listen, let's get going here. I want to talk about being content with your level. Being content with your level. This is something that you shouldn't wish for. It is just something that you ought to do. And that's be content. Find contentment with who you are, where you are in life, and be okay with that. I read a passage in the Bible from the book of Nehemiah, and it's Nehemiah chapter 6, verse 3. The Revised Standard Version reads like this: "And I sent messengers to them saying, I am doing a great work, and I cannot come down. Why should the work stop while I leave it and come down to you?" You know, I really could subtitle this talk today, "Why should I come down to you?" Right? Have you ever vacillated between the person you are and the person others say you should be? You know, people often have this idea of who they think you ought to be and what they think you ought to do. And listen, friends, they think that way because of what they believe they're going to benefit from that transaction. You know, a person can care very little about you, but if you have something to offer, then I'm telling you, they're all ears and they're all hands. Their hands will be out and they just simply say, bring it on. Give me the goodies. Are you troubled by what you know you should be doing versus what others say you should be doing? Is being yourself a tough job and really difficult for others to stomach and swallow? If so, then you're going to need to decide what your purpose and missions are about in this life. You will need, in addition to your convictions, you will need courage to carry out your assignment. You know, it's not enough to just say, I'm convicted that I should do this, that, or the other. But do you have the courage to do it? And it takes courage because we face opposition, right? There are those who just don't think sometimes that you ought to have what you have. People can love you and hate you for the same thing. They hate you, they despise you for the very thing that they really appreciate about you. You know, maybe you know what to say at any given time. Maybe you know what to do when things get rough and rocky. Maybe you're a good shelter during the time of their storm. And they can love the fact that you're a shelter, but despise you because it's you. If it was someone else or those others, it would be okay. But the fact that it's you, I just don't like you, but I will accept what you have. You know, it's like a person who will borrow your money, borrow your car, borrow your outfit, and then when it's time to return it, now they have a big time attitude. No, take your old stinking money, take your stinking car, you know, take your stinking outfit. I didn't like it, no way. Well, you wore it and you returned it to me, and you didn't even return it the same way you received it. You got it, it was clean and fresh, and now, right, you feel me. Well, too many people have made the unfortunate mistake of aborting their personal missions in life. In addition to this, they have been known to devalue who and what they are simply to appease people who are dissatisfied with what they are doing and with where they are headed. Usually people are successful in getting another person to abort their projects. They move on to the next person who will listen to them. Now, what I find unfortunate about this situation is the ones trying to pull you down really don't care about you. They only want what they want. You know, and many times they want you to be miserable. Listen, don't be naive. Don't think for one moment that everyone is happy when you're smiling. There are some people who are troubled when you're smiling, when you're at peace. And you have to learn how to protect your peace, right? You have to learn how to keep some people at bay, keep them at a distance. Some people want you to be miserable. So many people in life are miserable and they want company. A second thing is they want you to be indecisive about what you desire to accomplish. You know, have you ever noticed that when you were down and had no clue of where you were going, what your real purpose and mission in life was, how people said, don't worry, baby, you gonna get it one of these days. And what happened when you finally got it right? Some of those same people who were patting you on the back are now stabbing you in your back, saying, you know what, I like you better. before you got what you got. You know, everyone's not always happy when you get that new car, that new outfit, that new promotion on your job. They're not always happy when your healing comes through. They're not always happy for you when you get your breakthrough. Why is that? Why do people have this crab mentality? They see you climbing up, trying to escape, and what do? Reach up and pull you back. They don't pull, they snatch you back down. Oh, you just don't leave us like that. And then the third thing people will do is they'll do everything in their ability to impede your progress. If they see or get the notion that you are going to move forward, they don't like it. You know, they will do whatever it takes to get you to turn around. This was the case in the book of Nehemiah. Nehemiah had a burden to help his people, and to do so, he needed to secure the wall and the gates. That was a great necessity. He learned that where he had come from was in ruin, and they were so defenseless because the gates were down. The wall was not in place, which gave the enemy immediate access from all points. So they had to fix it so that there was one way in and one way out. Nehemiah was a layman who had a burden for this mission. It was in his heart, and he knew that God had given this to him. And how did he know? Because when the king asked Nehemiah, and Nehemiah was the cupbearer, he said, I noticed that your countenance is down. What's up with this? And he said, oh, I'm just thinking about back home. And so the king said, well, listen, why don't you go ahead and handle that business? And he gave him papers, and he saw to it that supplies were given so that Nehemiah could get the job done. Nehemiah had a great mind. He knew the process. He knew what he needed to do. It was just a matter of going to get it done. And listen, isn't that just like the Lord? He will always open up doors for you and remind you that what he has for you is for you. Even the devil can't take it. I don't understand people come on, the devil took my joy. No, the joy that I have, the Lord gave it, and the world can't take it away. Success is never without opposition. And opposition comes from people who don't want you to be successful. You need to know that. Right now, you're listening to me, but I'm sure going in the back of your mind are individuals who immediately come to mind, people who do not want you to be successful. They will come around, they may laugh in your face and smile, but deep down in their hearts, you know, without them saying one word, because their actions speaks louder than anything they can say. They can say, come here, but at the same time, they're saying, get away quickly. And you have to decipher what they are truly saying. Now, when you get time, I want you to read chapters 4, 5, and 6 of the book of Nehemiah to gain my thinking. Well, let me just kind of go back, and I read a passage, that third verse, that says this, and I sent messengers to them saying, this is Nehemiah, listen to what he said. He sent messengers to tell the men who were coming to him that he needed to come down off the wall so they could have a meeting. He said, tell them I'm doing a great work and I cannot come down. Then he asked them this question: why should the work stop and I leave it and come down to you? I think he's saying in hood terms, why should I sink to your level? And my friend, listen, if you want to be successful, if you want to start sleeping better at night, you want to enjoy your meals, you want to enjoy your peace and your tranquility, if you want to be able to inhale and exhale, let me show you. Why don't you try that with me? I want you to inhale through your mouth and hold it and count to 5. And then exhale, let it out very slowly. On the count of 3. Here we go. 1, 2. Boy, that felt good. Did that feel good to you? Try that again. Not right now, because I'm on a mission. I've got some other things to do. I want you to take the time to inhale and exhale. Go back and ask yourself, what is my mission? What is my purpose? What am I doing? Where am I heading? Now listen, if where you're heading is not where you want to be, 2 words: don't go. Don't go. Don't do it. I don't care what the expectations of others are. Don't go. Don't do it. Quit devaluing who you are and what your purpose is. Where are you going? Don't devalue yourself because someone does not approve of your being 100%. Some people are so upset that you finally got it right and you're trying to operate at 100%. It don't take all that. That's why we're not together. That's why we're not holding hands now. But can we do lunch? That's why we're not doing lunch. Because when I eat, I want to be able to enjoy my meal. I don't want to get indigestion looking in your sour expression because you're hating on me because I'm trying to better myself, better my condition, get my mind straight. Listen to what Solomon said. He says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him. Well, who's the him? Well, of course, he's talking about the one who came through 42 generations, gave his life on Calvary one Friday, suffered, bled, and died in our stead, and was buried in a borrowed tomb. But on the 3rd day, arose victoriously with all power in his hand. And because he humbled himself and became obedient to death, even death on the cross, God has given him a name that's above every name, that at the name of Jesus, every knee shall bow and every tongue confess. Well, my friend, listen. I am serious as I can possibly be. Don't devalue yourself. Be content with your level. Be content with your level. Nehemiah was up on that wall working. He had a tool in one hand and a weapon in the other. And when those no good fellas came and said, hey, can we chat? Can we rap for a while? Can we have a discussion? I can hear Nehemiah saying, not today. And this one come back and say, well, you know, those guys wanted to meet with you. They said it's important. And that's when he gives his response. He said, listen, I'm doing a great work. He knew his worth. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was about. And he said, I'm doing a great work. I can't come down. Now, you tell me, why should the work stop while I leave it? and come down to your level. You're not talking about anything. You're not going anywhere. You're just full of criticism. You know, I already know what you've been saying about me. I know basically how you feel by the way you approach me. So it should not come as any surprise to you why I'm not giving you my time. All righty. This is Dr. Winfrey saying, listen, I had a great time this afternoon, and I want you to be all right. So learn to be content with who you are, be content with what you have. Listen, you don't have to have everything they have, and you don't have to have what they say you need. If it works for you, make it do what it do. All right, well, listen, I had a great time with you this afternoon. Thank you so much for joining me for my Saturday afternoon inspiration. And listen, tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m., we'll be in our Sunday morning worship. And please come on back and be my special guest. And tell someone else about it. Will you share it around and let them know that you'll at least get to hear what's on this fella's mind. All right, until then, next time, God loves you. Don't forget it. I love you. And I don't think there's anything you want to do about that. But just accept the love that we offer and know that if you're not saved, I should tell you, you can be saved. If you desire to know more about Christ and what His plan is for your life, I can be reached just shortly after this live stream at this phone number, 708-794-6453. That's 708-794-6453. Until next time, may the Lord bless and keep you, cause His face to shine upon you, and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift the light of His countenance upon you, and grant you His peace. God bless you.